These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Taking on our awesome quiz champions today are the Swinging Sixties. Now, this team of old friends take their name from the fact that they've all celebrated their 60th birthdays. So let's meet them.
Hello, I'm Steve, and I'm a retired trade union education officer.
Hi, I'm Bob, and I'm a retired industrial chemist.
Hello, I'm Steve, and I'm a retired teacher.
Hello, I'm David, and I'm a retired computer programmer.
Hi, I'm John. I'm a retired university lecturer.
So Steve and team, welcome. Good to see you. What is it that brings you all together?
Well, Bob and I play golf together, hence the swinging part of the 60s.
Yeah.
And the other members of the team are old friends of ours.
Right, and you quiz together as well, is that right?
Well, Bob and I have quizzed together, but we haven't done so regularly recently.
Will the clubs come out if it gets nasty?
Definitely.
Right, yeah, exactly. I hope you've got a caddy ready with them. Good luck to you. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Swinging Sixties. The Eggheads have done rather well recently. That's why they're looking a bit too smug. They've won the last 13 games. Ooh. So £14,000 is here for you to win today. And the first head-to-head battle is on the subject of arts and books. Who would like to do this?
Looks like that's some books.
Me, isn't it?
I think that's
I think it's me. For you to start, yes. That's
Okay,
great
choose an egghead. You can have any one of the 5. I know it's not appealing.
Dave, do you think?
Yeah, OK, I'll go with Dave, yeah.
Right, so it's going to be John from the Swinging Sixties versus Dave from the Eggheads. Arts and books, Dave. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? Arts and books, John, and would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
And here we go with your first question. Good luck. How long is the longest side of John Constable's painting, The Hay Wain? Is that 1.85 metres, 3.85 metres, or 7.85 metres?
It surely can't be 7.85 metres. I would think 1.85 metres.
Yeah, bang on. I'm sorry we couldn't give it to you in feet and inches. 1.85 is right. Dave. Milan Kundera, born in Brno in Czechoslovakia in 1929, became famous in which role? Writer, sculptor, or photographer?
Kundera, I think it's a writer.
Yes. What did he write? Any eggs?
Unbearable lightness of being.
The Unbearable Lightness of Being.
Yes.
Okay, 1 each. Back to you, John. Which writer's first novel, entitled Union Street, was the inspiration for the 1990 feature film Stanley and Iris? Is that Kate Atkinson, Jeanette Winterson, or Pat Barker?
I'm pretty sure that Union Street is Pat Barker.
Pat Barker is right. Yeah, very good. Dave, which French landscape and portrait painter, born in Paris in 1796, had the first names Jean-Baptiste Camille? Is that Delacroix, Géricault, or Corot?
Jean-Baptiste Camille.
Yeah, 1796, born in Paris, yeah.
I've got to go Corot.
Yeah, Corot's the one. He's the landscape painter,
Yes.
John, your question. Which Sherlock Holmes novel culminates in a boat chase along the Thames after an Andaman Islander called Tonga? Is that The Sign of Four, The Valley of Fear, or A Study in Scarlet?
I don't know my Sherlock Holmes stories, and I can't see any way I can really work this out. Let's go with The Valley of Fear.
I bet Chris knows. Chris?
It's The Sign of Four, Jeremy.
It is The Sign of Four, John. So 2 out of 3. Right. Let's see how Dave does now. You could be in the final, Dave, you get this right. Which writer was expelled from Cornwall in 1917 on suspicion of spying? Was it D.H. Lawrence, Erskine Childers, or A.P. Herbert?
I'm gonna have to go D.H. Lawrence, but no real certainty in that.
Do you know, John?
I would have gone for D.H. Lawrence as well.
D.H. Lawrence is the right answer. Dave, well done.
Thank you.
You got it right. John, sorry about that. You've been knocked out. So not the greatest start for your team, but plenty of time left. Please come back to us, both of you, and we'll play on. So as it stands, swinging 60s have lost one brain from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost one yet. The next subject is geography. So who's the best travelled 60-something?
Congratulations, Dave.
I think that's going to be me.
OK, David. And anyone here look as if they don't get out much?
Okay.
I think with Lisa, yeah.
I think we'll go for Lisa, please.
OK, yes, you haven't got CJ here. CJ can really stumble on this, but no CJ today. So David from Swinging 60s versus Lisa from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. So David, you're a lepidopterist.
That's right, Jeremy. Yes, I like to study butterflies and moths.
I was gonna ask what that is, yeah. So we're on geography here. I'm sure there's a connection somewhere. Would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
And here we go. The abbreviation ACT stands for Australian Capital what? Territory, terrain, or turf?
I'm pretty sure that's the Australian Capital Territory.
It is indeed. Well done. Territory it is. Lisa, which of these rivers is also known as the Zaire River? Orinoco, Congo, or Yellow?
I think it would make sense for it to be the Congo.
The Congo is right. OK, back to you. David, which of these Welsh local authority areas shares a border with England? Is it Carmarthenshire, Vale of Glamorgan, or Powys?
I'm tempted by Carmarthenshire, but Powys... I'm going to rule out the Vale of Glamorgan, but I'm tempted by Carmarthenshire or Powys. Now then, Carmarthen, Powys. No, I think I'm going towards Powys now. I'm going to go for Powys.
Powys is the right answer. Well done. You were very methodical there. Very much so. OK. Lisa, which Canadian province is bordered by Quebec and Manitoba? Alberta, Nova Scotia, or Ontario?
See, I was so delighted to escape that Welsh question, and now I've walked straight into another one that's all about relative provinces. I thought Nova Scotia had links to Prince Edward Island, which is sort of east coast of Canada, which would put it in the same sort of region. And I can't find a better reason than that for the others. Given that this is almost certainly going to be wrong, I shall go for Nova Scotia.
Do you know, David, out of interest?
I think it's Ontario.
It is Ontario, yeah. So Australia and Canada, Lisa.
Basically big countries with lots of provinces. Can we just not have them?
Faraway places of which we know little. So, David, get this one right and you're in the final round. The Pacific island of Bora Bora is part of an overseas territory of which country? Is it France, Spain, or USA?
Well, I don't think Spain has got many interests in that part of the world. I know the United States got control of a lot of islands in that area after the Second World War, so I think I'm going to go for the United States.
Do you know, challengers?
France, is it?
Yeah, it is France. France is the answer. Let's see whether you get punished for that, David. Lisa has a chance now to stay in. Mounts Bay is a large sweeping bay in which English county? Lisa, is it East Sussex, Kent, or Cornwall?
No. Internal library is coming up with a blank. So, finger in the wind, chalk on the blackboard, tail on the donkey, East Sussex.
It's not the first time this has come up.
Other side of the country.
Cornwall is the answer.
Of course it is, hooray!
It's probably some kind of D.H. Lawrence connection. So, David, well done. How about that? And you're in the final round. Lisa's been knocked out. So, David, please come back. Lisa too, and we'll play on. So, swinging 60s, how are we feeling?
Better.
Steve, you're feeling better? OK, good. Certainly not retired from the point of view of this game. You've lost a brain, they've lost a brain. We play on. Food and drink is the subject.
That's me, I think.
Is that you?
That's me.
Yeah.
Who's the foodie here?
I'm going to take this
Oh,
one.
Steve, gee, OK, good.
Yeah.
The captain. And against which egghead?
I think I'll go for
You got to go for it.
Chris, isn't it? Kevin, is it?
Yeah, go for it.
Kevin, yes.
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
Kevin. No, the one chink, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. So it just occurred to you suddenly, the
Yes.
Kevin food thing. Very famous. So it's Steve G from the Swinging 60s, Kevin from the Eggheads. And we can now do all the jokes about how you haven't got an oven and a fridge. And let's get in there and Let's do them now.
You can do them, yeah.
Please take your positions. We're on food and drink. Steve G, it's your choice whether you want to go first or second.
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
And here is your first question. The Reuben sandwich filled with corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut and Russian dressing was created in which country? South Africa, Denmark or USA?
Yes. Not immediately sure of this one. I don't think it's Denmark. I'll try South Africa.
No, it's America. USA, not South Africa. Kevin, over to you. Which of these, Kevin, is a variety of peach? Passion fruit, nectarine, or lychee?
It's not a lychee and it's not a passion fruit, it's a nectarine.
Nectarine is correct. Well done. Steve G, back to you. Which name is used for a cut of pork that is taken from the top of the foreleg? Chump, tenderloin, or hand and spring?
Yes, it's definitely not tenderloin. I haven't heard of hand and spring, so I'll go for chump, Jeremy.
Hand and spring is the answer, Steve. Yeah. Kevin, in Spanish cuisine, albarino is a type of what? Air-dried ham, pickled egg, or white wine?
Don't think I've come across that, no. But you can see why it might, because of the alba bit, you can see why it might be a white wine, because that's a translation of white, but is that too obvious? Pickled egg doesn't give me anything at all. There are various types of air-dried ham, though. It's a popular way of doing ham in Spain. I'm going to go for the air-dried ham. I'm sure I'm going to regret this.
You are, because it's white wine.
It's white wine, yeah.
You got halfway there, so he's let you off slightly there, Steve, but you need to get this one right. In confectionery, a type of black and white striped mint is named after which district of Liverpool where they were first made? Is it Toxteth, Everton or Bootle?
I've not heard of a mint from Everton. They call them the Toffees. I think I'll plump Toxteth or Bootle. I'll plump for Toxteth, Jeremy.
Let's ask your teammates. I think you know, teammates.
I think it's Everton.
Toffees, yeah.
Yeah, Everton is the answer. Everton is the answer. Sorry, Steve. So Kevin has pulled past you with his food and drink knowledge.
A bit.
A bit, yeah. So Kevin will be in the final. Please come back to us, rejoin your teammates, and we'll see what happens next. The swinging 60s have lost 2 brains and lost the skipper as well. Sorry, Steve. The Eggheads have also lost a brain. We don't mention who, Lisa. The next subject is sport. Is this good? Before the final, sport.
Happy for me to take that.
Very good. Yes. Is that you, Bob?
That's me, yeah.
Okay, choose an egghead if you can.
Probably Chris.
Right. I'm told it has to be Chris.
Ah, he's going to be pleased about that. He's got the staring eyes now. Bob from the Swinging 60s. Chris from the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? All right, sport, do you want to go first or second, Bob?
I'll go first, please.
And here is your question. In which country do football teams compete in the competition called La Liga? Is it Sweden, Switzerland or Spain?
Well, I don't know what the Swedish league's called. Or it sounds Spanish. It's Spain, Jeremy.
Spain is correct. Chris, which Test cricket ground is the home of Surrey County Cricket Club? Trent Bridge, the Oval or the Rose Bowl?
That's Kennington Oval, Jeremy, so it's the Oval.
The Oval is right. So it's the one in London?
Yeah, just across Westminster Bridge.
Right. Back to you, Bob. In which sport does a loose forward usually wear the number 13 shirt? Hockey, Gaelic football or rugby league?
Well, it's certainly not hockey. Played that all my life. A loose forward. It sounds like a rugby term to me. I'm going for rugby league.
Rugby league is correct. Playing well. Still no golf, though. Trying to find a golf question. Chris, in 2011, which race was won by Cadel Evans? Is it the Monaco Grand Prix, London Marathon, or Tour de France?
He doesn't sound like a driver, so it's not the Monaco Grand Prix. Doesn't ring any bells as a cyclist, so it's not the Tour de France. I have to go with the London Marathon.
You do it very sort of persuasively when you go straight for an answer, even when it's completely wrong, as it is on this occasion. Tour de France.
Ah.
Yeah. Bob, your question. Let's see, where are we? You've got 2, Chris has got 1. Get this right, you're in the final. In which year did women first compete officially in the modern Summer Olympics? 1900, 1920, or 1936?
Well, the modern Olympics only started in 1896. Fairly small affair, I think. They probably weren't ready for women then. 1936 is more famous for the Berlin Olympics and Jesse Owens. And 1920 sounds about right, so I'll go for 1920.
No, you should have gone for 1900. Oh. It was that early, yeah, 1900. So, Chris, get this right, you're still in. The golfer, Peter Thompson, 5-time winner of the Open, was born in which country? I knew we'd get golf at some moment, just not for the right contestant. New Zealand, USA, or Australia?
He's a New Zealander. New Zealand.
Bob, is he right?
Nope.
Where's he from?
He's Australian.
Oh, well,
Chris is Australian. You've been knocked out. How about that? In the end, you won it on golf after all that, Bob.
Indirectly.
So you will be in the final round, and if you both come back, we will play that final. So this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So it's Steve G and John from the Swinging Sixties, but it's also Lisa and Chris from the Eggheads. Would you please leave the studio? Now, Bob, Steve W and David, you're playing to win Swinging Sixties £14,000. Dave, Kevin and Judith, you're playing for something that money I don't think can buy, which is the Eggheads' precious reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. They're all going to be general knowledge. You can confer. So, Swinging Sixties, the question is, can your 3 brains defeat the 3 over there? And you pulled it back brilliantly in this contest, so wish you well. Good luck.
Thank
Bob,
you.
Steve, David, do you want to go first or second?
First, we can go first.
Yeah.
First, please.
Here we go. According to the advice for drivers described in the Highway Code, which of these actions should be performed first? Maneuver, mirrors, or signal?
Mirrors. Mirrors. You look at your mirror first.
Signal manoeuvre.
Yeah, it's always mirror first. Signals there. Yeah, we're all agreed on that. Yeah.
Mirror.
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 You suddenly shout out. Mirror's right. Eggheads. Lucy Watson, Andy Jordan, and Mark Francis Vandelli became well known following their appearances on which TV programme? Geordie Shore, The Only Way is Essex, or Made in Chelsea?
Well, would you get a Mark Francis Vandelli in Essex?
And Geordie Shore.
Or Geordie.
Andy's just the one that's throwing me at the
No, there
moment.
are lots of Andys in Chelsea.
Okay. But if you're going Lucy and that other name, just on the base of those 2,
Francis
I would go.
George
I'd go Made in Chelsea, but
should we risk it?
Risk it because we're not going to get any nearer.
Yeah, but nothing.
We've got nothing to go on at all. Nothing else to go on. Let's go on Made in Chelsea.
Don't recognise any names.
No.
So.
Just purely on the sound of the names, we think they fit in Chelsea rather than Essex or Geordie land.
So your answer is?
Made in Chelsea.
Made in Chelsea. Do you guys know?
We would have had the same reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot. The idea that people called Vandelli don't get as far north as Newcastle. Extraordinary part of the discussion. Anyway, you're right. I'll stop teasing you. Well done. Made in Chelsea it is. Oh, what a shame. It could have been anything there. Okay, challenges. The word myriad is derived from the Greek for which number? 101, 10,000, or 1 million?
Myriad. Who's the...
It's 1. Yes, now then.
Who's the factors moving up the factors? Myriad. It's not going to be 101.
No, it's not. No, definitely not. 101, definitely not.
Myriad.
And if I'm proved wrong, I'll
Did the Greeks
be devastated.
need to count up to 1 million? 10,000.
I like your reasoning. I'd go for 10,000.
What, 10,000?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Right, well, we don't know. We know it's lots. So we're going to go for 10,000.
Yeah, I guess lots isn't 101, but it is 10,000. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
Well done. Okay, Eggheads, this is an exciting round we're in here. Who are the rulers of a hagiarchy? Saints, thieves, or judges?
Saints.
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 Hagiography. As in hagiography, being
Yeah.
like lives of saints.
Saints.
Saints is correct. Third question, 2 each so far. Tight round, tight contest. The 1991 play Déjà Vu was the follow-up to which famous play of the 1950s? View from the Bridge, A Taste of Honey, or Look Back in Anger?
Anybody heard of this one?
Now then, I don't think...
I think Look Back in Anger is a red herring because it's, you know, to do with
You
looking
think,
already seeing Look Back in Anger.
Well, I would have thought the
But
same
there we go,
about
no View from the Bridge.
I certainly don't recognise it as an Arthur Miller play. And I don't think that she followed up Taste of Honey with anything, did she?
Right, okay.
I mean, I'm asking you.
I have no idea, I don't know.
So
what does that leave?
Well, it leaves Osborne, doesn't it? It leaves Osborne.
Leaves John Osborne.
So does that
Look Back in Anger. Well,
should we go for that then?
Okay.
Well, we don't know, quite simply. But our reasoning, such as it was, brings us to Look Back in Anger.
And the reasoning is good. Look Back in Anger it is. You've got 3 out of 3.
Well done.
If they, the Eggheads, get this wrong, the contest is over and they have lost. In Greek mythology, what was the name of the giant who had 3 bodies and a herd of beautiful red cattle? Is that Polyphemus, Geryon, or Argus?
That's the one of Hercules' or Heracles' labours was to steal the cattle of Geryon.
Yeah.
And Polyphemus was
Cyclops.
The Cyclops. And
Argus
was the
was
100-eyes.
the 100-eyed man.
Yeah,
So
the
it's-
peacock. So
it's
yeah.
Geryon.
It's Geryon.
Geryon, yeah.
Yeah.
That is Geryon.
Geryon is right. Eggheads, you've hung on in there with some pretty sure-footed play, so 3 each. Oh, sudden death in the final round with £14,000 to play for. This is a great edition of Eggheads. Hang on in there. The ancient city of Tyre is located in which modern-day country?
It's either Israel or Lebanon, I think.
It's Lebanon.
And I would say Lebanon.
We're all agreed on that.
Yeah, okay.
Looking at the map of the Mediterranean, we know roughly where it is. So we had to decide between Israel and Lebanon, and we're going for Lebanon.
I'm glad you did, you're quite right. Big city under the Phoenicians. Was it Tyre and Sidon in the Bible? Yeah. Yeah. So, well, Eggheads, you're suddenly on the ropes here. By what name is a pedestrian light-controlled crossing colloquially known?
Well, you mean the ones where you press a button?
Yeah.
And the lights change?
Yeah.
Are they pelican crossings?
I thought they were, but I stand to be corrected. I thought that's what
I have
they
no
were.
idea.
Because what's a zebra crossing then?
A zebra crossing is the one with the Belisha beacon.
Yeah, and you've actually got the black and white markings on
And
the
yes.
Yeah, that's a zebra, so
on
it's
the
a
road.
pelican crossing then,
Yeah,
isn't
well,
it?
I thought that was what they were called. but I
Yeah,
don't know.
pelican.
Okay.
Okay.
Pelican?
Pelican, we've got to go with it.
I may be entirely wrong, but yeah.
Well, we think they're pelican crossings.
Pelican is right. And the clue is in the name, pedestrian light control, pelican.
Oh, pelican.
Yeah, I think that's where you get
Control.
pelican from. Yeah. Okay. Woo, it's tense in here.
Getting back.
Your question, sudden death. Which typeface, designed by Vincent Connard in 1996, was named after a medieval catapult?
Well, I mean, there are dozens of
Yeah, there are
them,
dozens of
but
typefaces.
Why am I thinking of trebuchet? What does that
Well,
ring any bells?
You're right, but have you ever heard of a typeface?
Well, no, but I've never been that far down the list.
I mean,
Not quite. That was the first.
Well, we can't think of.
Ideas.
Yeah, otherwise, it's a
worth going
total
with.
guess.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
What is it again?
trebuchet.
Trebuchet.
Go on.
We don't know, quite simply. But we're going to have chance our arm with trebuchet.
Trebuchet. And where did trebuchet come from, Bob? Is it the word for catapult?
It just sounds like a medieval catapult. It's a word I've heard before, but I just can't quite place it.
When you say you don't know, you're wrong. You do know, you're quite right. Trebuchet is right, and it's given that name because it supposedly launches words across the internet. But that was brilliant play there. That's a very hard question. Okay, Eggheads again. They have the initiative here. One misstep, It's over. The name of which government department within the criminal justice system is frequently abbreviated to SFO?
Serious
Fraud Office, isn't it?
Serious Fraud
SFO
Office.
is Serious Fraud
SFO.
Serious Fraud
Fraud Office. Serious Fraud Office.
Okay.
Yep.
That is the Serious Fraud Office.
Serious Fraud Office is correct. Okay. Your question. Which classic 1970s TV series was based on the novel Cyborg by Martin Caidin?
1970s.
70s.
Doctor Who.
Simon Blake 7, that was around.
Sci-fi series.
Blake 7, that was
Yeah,
around.
that's right, yeah. I mean, Quatermass was
Red
before.
Dwarf.
That was black and white, Quatermass. Could be Star Trek.
No, that was starting in the 60s, that
Yes,
was.
that was earlier, I think.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Blake 7 is our best answer so far.
Can't
Got
think of
any other
others in the
ones?
60s and the 70s.
70s. No, okay, go with it. Since it's
Go
can't
on, we're
think of
going to come up with anything else.
Okay.
Again, I have to start by saying we don't know. But our reasoning brings us to Blake 7.
Okay, Blake 7 is your answer. Now, yeah, it's wrong, I'm afraid. You'll kick yourselves because it's all hinges on the idea of somebody who's human, but they've got some robotic parts. You getting there? Where you know, and it's Steve Austin and Lee Majors, and the $6 million man it was, which I know we were all watching back then. Okay, Eggheads, get this question right, you've won the head-to-head. Which American city has the nickname the City of the Big Shoulders, inspired by a poem by Carl Sandburg?
Well, I don't know this, but the only thing, Carl Sandburg was famously associated with Chicago. He was a Chicago poet and writer.
But that's the Windy City, isn't it?
It is the Windy City,
Can
yeah.
have other names.
But it could be somewhere. I mean, it's not. I mean, he didn't exclusively write about Chicago. I mean, I have heard the phrase, but I can't remember what it actually relates to.
Okay.
And then you can start to construct all sorts of cases for other things. And you've got Boston, where you've got the two areas of land, which
Which is he associated with Boston?
No, he's associated with Chicago. So
go on then.
Because Carl Sandburg is associated with Chicago, we're going to go for Chicago, although we do know that that's also called the Windy City. But we're going to say Chicago as an alternative.
Let me read the poem, a bit of the poem. Hog butcher for the world, tool maker, stacker of wheat, player with railroads and the nation's freight handler, stormy, husky, brawling city of the big shoulders. If you've got it right, the contest is over. If not, we play on. You've played really, really well. But the answer is Chicago, and we say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won.
Never mind.
Wow, that was just toe-to-toe in the final.
Quite pleased with that, yes.
And your trebuchet was a stroke of genius there. Would you have got a trebuchet?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they would have done. So, hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you.
That was fantastic.
Maybe we need, to misquote Jaws, we needed a bigger club. Commiserations, swinging 60s. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. They played well too, I have to say. Some answers pulled out of the bag there. Quite impressive. The winning streak continues on this side, and on your side, you don't go home with the £14,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, well done. Well done, the three of you. Who will beat you? Well, let's see if next time a new team of challengers have the brains to do it. £15,000 says they don't. Till then, thanks for playing. Goodbye.
Strictly's Helen and Aliash, and Jay and Aliona joining Zoe Bourne on It Takes Two next tonight. Then leaving Venice behind for the great unknown, Rick Stein with a taste of Croatia at 7, followed by extraordinary footage of red deer and wind farms cause problems for migrating birds in Autumn Watch at 8.